So you've heard 100 times, your manager would have told you, do your account research. You have just 2,000 accounts to cover. Build a point of view for each one of those accounts. But what does that actually mean? And how do you do it without spending hours deep diving into every corner of the internet for those 2,000 accounts that you need to prospect within your 8 hours a day? Today, I'm going to show you how you can use ChatGPT to build a killer sales point of view fast. That will allow you to make an impact to your customer, gain a seat at the table, and make sure that you make those beautiful commissions. So let's jump into it. My name is Sultan from Value Coach. I bring 20 plus year experience in sales, account management, partner management, value consulting, business development, and much more in technology companies around the globe. I'm on a mission to help account executive and sales professional make more commission within less time using technology and the tools that we have at our hands. I strongly believe in the power of selling the value to our solutions. So let's jump into it. A POV, or a point of view, or a point of value is a key element that every account executive should use. What it means is that you go informed into a meeting with a customer and you're not just stepping in and saying, hey, how you doing? Yeah, the weather's pretty nice, no? What's keeping you up at night? When you ask this question, people might want to just kick you out of the door. They don't want to waste time. Time is valuable and you need to come prepared and informed to the meeting. And a POV is exactly what it is. It allows you to come with an informed point of view that you can use to start a conversation with a client. So how do you do that? What I like to use is a very simple framework that allows me to map the entire scope from external factors down to us and what makes us unique and why we win. And the way I do it is looking at the external factors. Think of climate change, aging population, inflation, new regulation, and so on. Organizations will probably have a number of business initiatives to address that. So if they have a challenge with aging population or lack of talent, they might start a new initiative to hire young talent. We need to understand what the current situation is, what the capability gaps they have within the organization, and what the desired outcomes of that business initiatives are. They also probably will define their own success measurement. How do they measure success and when will they be successful? And they will probably have also someone owning that business initiative on the client side. The last two boxes are actually your product, is how we address it and what makes us unique, why we win. So this framework is very interesting because if you look at it, from those 8 boxes, 6 are about the client and 2 are about us, which makes it a very customer-centric approach to do it. But it is a lot of information, and if you have 2,000 customers to cover in your territory, it's almost impossible to do it. So what I like to do, I like to get a head start using ChatGPT. So let's jump into it. So if I'm going to ChatGPT, and let's say I'm targeting a large retailer, first thing I would do, I would go to ChatGPT and ask, give me an overview of the current challenges and external trends impacting large retailers in 2025. And I will let it do its job. And ChatGPT can do a great work at finding this information and making it available. And we see that evolving consumer expectations, margin pressure and cost control, supply chain disruption, technology talent gaps, data overload, low insights. And ChatGPT even goes beyond looking at external trends driving the change, such as AI, economic uncertainty, and so on. So now we want to know what they're focused on internally. And so the question could be, what are the typical strategic initiatives for large retailers responding to current market pressures? And if you are very specific and you have a retailer in mind, we can say, we take Walmart as an example, a large retailer in the US. What are the typical strategic initiatives that Walmart takes to respond to current market pressures? And there you go. It gives you a number of areas such as omnichannel domination, AI automation at scale, and much more. And you can do a number of things here. So you have the results. You can decide, okay, I would just want to keep 1 to 5, or I want to ask ChatGPT to just focus on 3 areas, it's down to you, depending on what you know about the account and what makes sense for you. What I will ask it now is, I will focus on one area, which is omnichannel domination. So regarding nation, what capability gaps might prevent them from achieving those business initiatives? And there you go. It gives you actually the capability gap they might face, such as silo data and legacy systems, inconsistent customer experience, scalability of personalization, last mile fulfillment complexity, and so on. And it even builds a summary for me to get a good view. The next step would be to go towards these are the outcomes. What I can do is, what are typical outcomes Walmart wants to achieve when improving omnichannel, how did we call it? Omnichannel success, domination. I can even go a step further and ask, and who owns these outcomes and KPIs? And right now it's doing the research and tell us, okay, what is going to be important for them is increasing customer lifetime value. What it means is, what is the value of a customer across the entire lifetime that they have with Walmart? It's going to look also at higher online and app sales, the share of digital revenue. And what is really interesting here is that it gives us also an ownership, the chief e-commerce officer, the chief digital officer, product owners for the app and the web, etc., etc. So very easily you get a view of the challenge, how to try to address it, who owns it, and how do they measure success. Now, what I will do, I will ask the magic part, which is, can you combine all in a sales POV? And now ChatGPT will create a document for us. The next step for you is to actually read this material, check it, see if it makes sense, and try to extract the key elements. And now what you can do, ask it to, based on the external pressures, strategic goals, capability gaps for large retailers, create a short story of an elevator pitch that outlines a problem to solution narrative for Walmart. And there you go. So Walmart is under pressure to deliver seamless, personalized experiences across every channel while controlling cost and maintaining operational excellence at massive scale. You've invested heavily in omni-channel, but gaps in data integration, last mile fulfillment, and in-store execution are still slowing you down. We help Walmart unlock the value of your omnichannel strategy by bridging those capability gaps, turning disconnected data into real-time personalization, stores into fulfillment powerhouse, and frontline teams into digital-first service ambassadors. The result? Faster time to fulfill, higher customer lifetime value, and a consistent brand experience across all touchpoints, online, in-app, and in-store. So I did not feed it any kind of solution in there. If you have one and you add it to it, or you add a customer story, a company where you did something similar, you would have really a killer POV that will allow you to get the meetings, get a seat at the table, and really help your customer be successful. To summarize, when you do this, you show your buyer 3 things. First of all, you understand their world. You are focused on outcomes, not features, and you can help them make the business case internally because you understand what's driving them, what are the KPIs, what are the success metrics. And that's really the difference between the reps who get ghosted and the reps who get the deal and make commission. So if this helped, hit that button, subscribe, and drop a comment, and tell me, what account are you trying to crack next? And I might help you build a POV in a future video. Thanks a lot for your time, and seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye. So you've heard it 100 times. Do your account research, build a POV. But what does that actually mean? And how do you do it without spending hours deep diving into every corner of the internet, having the feeling that you're wasting time, not knowing what you are looking for, and not being even sure that the time you are investing will bear its fruits? So today I'm going to show you how to use ChatGPT to build a killer sales point of view, and fast. It's going to be one that hits the key elements from external pressures to why you win the deal. Let's get to it.